Today, we are going to see the comparison between the Realme 7 versus Poco X3. The content is quite old but a very important one which I forgot to cover. In this video, we will see what is the difference between these two and which is the best value for money. Why am I comparing these phones? Pricing wise, the Realme 7 is cheaper, but specification wise both are same I feel. So let's see which is the bang for the buck. Starting with the internals, first we will see the Poco X3. It comes with a Snapdragon 732G. Under the budget of 20,000, this is the best chipset Qualcomm can provide. So for the budget, this will give the greatest performance. Then it has a UFS 2.1 storage, LPDDR4 RAM, whereas in Realme 7 they have provided a MediaTek Helio G95 processor. You might ask that the MediaTek processors are inferior to the Snapdragon, but no, this processor is equally powerful to the Snapdragon 732G. Again, it has the same UFS 2.1 storage and LPDDR4 RAM is also used here. But if you're taking a lot of photos, then in Qualcomm there is an image signaling processor and the artificial intelligence capabilities make the videos and photos come better in the Qualcomm. But MediaTek is a performance oriented chipset. There will be image signaling processor but won't match the level of Qualcomm. But if you don't have money problem, then you can go for the Poco. But if you're under a tight budget and want similar performance, then you can go for the Realme 7. So now let's move ahead with the display. If we see, both phones come with a 1080p IPS LCD display, not an AMOLED, but the Realme 7 comes with a 90Hz display, whereas the Poco comes with a 120Hz display. In the Poco, the screen is quite bigger. It comes with around 6.7 inch, whereas in Realme it comes around 6.5 inch. Poco has a 120Hz refresh rate and the Realme has a 90Hz refresh rate, but the 120Hz refresh rate in Poco is variable refresh rate. That is, we can't keep it constant. To save the battery, it continuously shifts from 90Hz to 120Hz. So smoothness is there, but since in Realme it is a constant 90Hz, we can feel that the Realme is more smoother than the Poco. But to be frank, there is no difference between the 120Hz and the 90Hz. So yes, if you're under a tight budget, then Realme 7 is the best option, as we are getting a high refresh too with the high refresh rate but with the similar performance. So if you don't have a budget problem then and want a 120Hz in particular, then the Poco X3 is the best option. Now let's move ahead with the cameras. Both the phones have 64MP primary Sony IMX682 sensor. So both the phones will be very similar to each other, but where the difference will come is in the Qualcomm chipset we have the image signaling processor. So the Poco will take a little bit more detailed shots than the Realme. MediaTek is not useless, but when we see the image directly it is good. But when we compare it side by side with the Poco, there is a difference. Next thing, Realme has an 8MP ultrawide, whereas the Poco has a 13MP ultrawide. So the ultrawide in Poco will be more sharp and better than the Realme. So next thing is the 2MP macro and 2MP depth, which are similar in both the devices. So if we see on paper, the Poco is ahead in cameras. In selfie side, the Realme is using 16MP Sony IMX471 sensor, whereas on the other hand Poco is using 20MP Samsung sensor. So don't go for the megapixel count. Both sides selfies are equal, I would say. So again, if you are in a tight budget, then Realme is the best option, as we are just losing some megapixels in the ultra wide segment. Now we have completed almost every aspect. So now let's move ahead with our final topic, that is the battery and charging segment. In Realme we get the 5000 mAh battery and in the Poco we get the 6000 mAh battery. And the Poco comes with a 33 watt fast charging, whereas the Realme comes with a 30 watt fast charging. So Poco is clear winner here, but the Realme will charge faster. As you know, Poco has a bigger battery than Realme, so it will take time for charging. So Realme will last for around a day and a half with normal usage, whereas the Poco may last up to 2 days with normal usage. So till now, whatever I have told, and the final conclusion is, if you are ready to spend, then Poco X3 is the best option for you. But if you are sticking under a high budget, then Realme 7 is the choice, as we are not losing anything much when it comes to the Poco. Just we get some less megapixels under the ultra wide segment and a 90Hz refresh rate, which doesn't make any difference to the 120Hz. Just in the battery segment, the Poco has 1000 mAh more. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel for latest technology tips, unboxing and reviews. We'll see you in the next one.